How can I tune into a higher frequency? So, one of the videos I made that got a lot of views, I was a little bit surprised about, was a short talking about how we can tune into higher frequencies. So I figured I would do a video that went into a little bit deeper. To do that, I was searching for a spread that talks about higher energies, and I found a tarot spread by Emerald Lotus Divination, and I'm going to put that into the description below. And it's basically called Tune into Higher Frequency. So I don't usually do a personal reading for myself on camera, but I'm going to do it here so everybody can see what this spread is like. And if you have any desire to do the spread for yourself, please do. So again, the spread is called Tune into Higher Frequency. This is for entertainment purposes only. For this video, I'm just going to be talking about myself anyway, but still for entertainment purposes only. It's a 6-card spread. And each card helps you answer a specific question. So question 1 is how I can tune into higher frequency. That would be card 1. I got the Knight of Wands. Card 2 is how I can open myself for a greater capacity of light. And that's the King of Cups. Number 3 is how I perceive higher dimensional energy. And I got the Devil. Number 4 is a subconscious energy that is holding me down and creating resistance to a higher frequency. Ooh, and I got the story. The story card is specific just for this deck. Again, I'm using the Endless Tarot by Eric Mail. Number 5 is how I can heal to allow proper integration of higher dimensional energy. I got the 10 of Wands. And number 6 is a message from the divine. And I got temperaments. All right, so let's get started here. I'm going to push these down a little bit here. So how I can tune into a higher frequency. And I got the King of Wands. Wands are fire signs. I am actually a fire sign, so that's kind of good, I guess, for me. Kings are about completion for the court cards in the deck. They're usually somebody who is in charge. So I feel like it's kind of saying I need to take that fire energy. I need to be in charge of it. And wands are also about like creativity. Um, we have it wands for, let me look at my little sheet here. Enthusiasm, willpower, drive, creativity. So basically it's saying that I'm in charge of my higher frequency of tuning in, right? So I have that ability to be in charge of my drive, my willpower, my enthusiasm, my talents and imagination. Um, so I think a lot of how I obtain that higher energy, how I tune into it, has a lot to do with pure willpower, enthusiasm, creativity, which would make sense to me because those are all things that sound good to me. Like I relate to that. How I can open myself for a greater capacity of light, then we're looking at the King of Cups. So I kind of see this as something I'm already doing, and this probably has a lot to do with creating videos, um, learning tarot, figuring out what other abilities that I could use. The King of Cups is saying, again, you need to take charge. And cups are about social relationships, intuition, emotions, love. They're water signs. So this is saying that to help me along that way, I need to take charge of my unconscious mind. I need to work on my intuition as much as possible, Probably also my social relationships with other readers and tarot readers, because this is a great community. I think this community that I'm a part of also helps me with this. So, how I perceive higher dimensional energy is very interesting because I got the devil card. So, a lot of times, this devil card, when you look at it, it is like a serpent. There are two people here, and there's apple trees. So, this is like Adam and Eve, devil in front of the apple trees. So, a lot of times, I do associate the devil with knowledge. The apples to me represent knowledge. Devil card could also mean addictions, like becoming addicted to something. So in a way, it could also mean that I perceive higher dimensional energy. Perceive it probably more in knowledgeable, coming from a knowledgeable place, not as much as feeling. Like I don't perceive it emotionally that much. I perceive it more as a way of knowing, almost like clear cognizance. So I think that's how it's kind of saying that I achieve that or I perceive it. And that makes sense to me. I feel like of any of the clairs, I feel like I have clear cognizance that works most, and that I've kind of had that my whole life. So a subconscious energy that is holding me down and creating resistance to a frequency. I got the story card. So for this deck, the story card is only in this deck. And what's I think funny about the story card, there's a little squirrel there. So I think in a way, when we talk about squirrel, it's kind of like our brain is kind of going all different places at once. And I could see that being true. I have a lot of interests, so it's hard for me sometimes to focus. Um, this story card also talks about the narration, the journey, cause and effect, and experience. So I think to me, the what could be creating a resistance is just not being able to focus. Like I may be on a journey, but there's so many things that distract me. I'm like, oh, that's a cool flower. Oh, what's that thing? Oh, that's really neat. Oh, I want to learn more about that. Right. So I feel like this is telling me that I just need to make sure that I focus. I can probably slow down if I want to, right? I can enjoy the journey. I don't have to do it quickly. And that's another thing where I'm like, I like to achieve things. So I don't always have the patience. But I think this card is saying don't worry, you can take this, one thing at a time. It's not like when you're in college and you're having to pick up so much stuff because the semester is only so many weeks long, and then you have a final and you have to know everything by the final. It's not like that. You are able to take the time, or at least I'm able to take the time, and enjoy the journey. Number 5 is how I can heal to allow proper integration of higher dimensional energy. So this is another wands card. So it's about enthusiasm and creativity. What's interesting, right? The tens are completion cards. So the tens are saying you've made it where you need to go. And at this point, you can really think about, okay, so where do I want to go now? Or you look back at what you achieved and say, should I do it? Did I do something a little bit different? Should I work on this a little bit more? Sort of thing. You have a person who is carrying all these bundles of six. So they made it through from ace to 10, picking up all those wands. Um, and they kind of completed their journey in a way. And now they're checking to see what they could change, what they can fix about the journey. If they want to go through the journey again because they feel they need to, they can. So I think this card is how I can heal to allow proper integration. I think this card is just telling me to think about what I've done so far, see what's worked, see what has not worked. Is there another section of that I want to work on? Then I can do that, right? I think that's what this card is saying. And a message from the divine is temperance. And we have the water again. This is like a mill. The mill is working. You see the smoke coming out of the chimney. It's working, working, working. So I think in a lot of ways, temperance in this deck is about hard work as well. I think the divine is saying, just keep doing what you're doing for the most part. Don't be afraid if it feels difficult. 14, 1 plus 4 equals a 5. Fives are kind of like chaos and difficulty. I think the temperance card here, it's talking about moderation, it's talking about adjusting to things, but it's also talking about experimentation. So I think this card is basically saying my message from the divine is don't be afraid to experiment. Definitely look back at things, see what's worked, see what's not worked. Don't be afraid to adjust and don't be afraid to work in moderation. So, this is what the spread is telling me about my ability to tune into a higher energy. So, I would definitely, it made a lot of sense to me. This is the first time I ever used the spread. So, I feel like if you're interested in how to get started into tuning into a higher frequency, that's been talked about a lot recently. Um, Really going from that, I guess, 3D to 4D to 5D sort of way of thinking. I think it means different things for everybody. Definitely look into it a bit more if you're curious. So I just wanted to share the spread with all of you. Please like and subscribe. Hopefully, it'll help you um, understand what it is that you need to do in order to unlock yourself into a tune into your higher frequency. I thought it was a very good spread. And I'll put the link in the description so you can look it up and see what each placement means. And thank you. Have a good day. Like, subscribe, share, leave any comments you have. And I'll see you later.